All right, people, welcome back. We got another episode today of the Hanging with Monster podcast. For everyone who's come back and listened to this one, I appreciate it. I appreciate every time anybody comes back to listen to any episode. You guys are basically the reason why I keep on doing this. So as long as you listen, I'll keep on doing it for you. I know in the coming month here in October, I'll have some guests who have something to do with like the haunted house scene and stuff like that. So be on the lookout for that, and you could check back for that. It'll be a spooky month. Hopefully I get it all done the way I want to do it and stuff, So, yeah, you can enjoy that. It'll be a spooky month of October for you. This episode is with Mr. Evan J. Thomas. I sit down with him and we talk about, him being a radio show host, a podcast creator, and a photographer. He gets to go to some concerts and some sporting events to take some photos, and talks about that and his love for it and, the training he had for it, which was, go out and shoot and see what works and what doesn't work, I'll let you hear about that more in the episode. And let's just have some fun. That's all what this podcast is. A little fun, give out some information to some people who are maybe interested in this kind of stuff that I have for my guests. So if anything, you can be entertained by that, gain some knowledge, and if you have any questions, you can reach out to my guests and stuff. I leave all their information in the episodes. You can go to their Facebook, their Instagrams. Sometimes they have YouTube pages as well. And let's just have some fun, hang with the monster. And let's get this one started. Episode 93, crank those fucking jams. Episode 93 of the Hanging with Monster podcast, and I'm talking to Evan Thomas today.
Evan J. Thomas, that is.
Okay, I'll keep the J in.
Please do.
The J for jam.
Jackass, jerk, whatever you want to call me. I'm good with all of it. I don't give a shit.
Jamming. Evan.
Oh, can we swear? Is that okay?
Sure can.
All right, my man. There we go.
Yeah. And you just came back from a Notre Dame game a few minutes ago.
Yeah, a nice little 2-hour ride home after 24-17.
Yeah,
Notre Dame victory.
That's got to be a incredible field to watch a game at. From the Rudy movies, the hype it got off from that, but just the school itself and the stadium and the crowd and the people and. Yeah,
I get emotional every time I go, and I'll be the first one to say I have no problem admitting I cry at games. I don't so I'm the type that'll sit there. I get emotional. I have fun. I get energized during games.
Yeah.
So I went last week and this week. First 2 times I've been there in 4 years since before COVID.
Okay.
So I got to actually experience the last 2 weeks of real tailgating as well. So getting a little lathered up before you go into a game is a little more interesting than just going to the game.
Yeah.
But first time in 4 years, I haven't been media either. So normally,
I was going to ask you if you had done because you do photography for sports, and is it just Notre Dame, or do you do other sports photography for them, or?
So I did Notre Dame football from 2015 to the last time I did it was 2019.
Okay.
I did their basketball team the 2 years they actually made it to the Elite Eight of the basketball. I think that was 15 and 16 or 16 and 17. I don't know, whatever that was. But yeah, I got to do basketball there as well. Never done any other sports there. So just football and basketball. So.
And is it just Notre Dame that you've got to do photography for?
Actually, no. I got to cover Northwestern in around 2009, 2010. Okay. I did some Illinois and Ohio State games. Nice. So football, and those were fun. And then I also did Northwestern basketball.
Oh shit!
For 2 seasons, so I got to actually like photograph. Oh my God, there's Michael Jordan's kid when he was at Illinois. So that.
Was okay.
Michael Jordan was never there, but that was pretty interesting to do that.
Well, yeah, we could be kind of going out of the lineup of the topics, but we could just go in
whatever you want to do. I'm open to whatever you want to talk about.
I'll kind of bounce around a little bit, but we're on the topic of photography. You also do concert photography.
Yeah, I dabble in that just a little bit. No, I do probably at least when there is no COVID, anywhere from 40 to 70 shows a year. So.
Okay. How did you get into that then?
I actually started that in the late 90s with a friend's band. And actually then I was still shooting with film. So it cost me a lot of fucking money that I hated to pay.
Oh, yeah.
So I actually got paid to do some of the stuff. So I was shooting for my friend's band in the basement. And we would do just, regular like practices and stuff like that. I'd get cool angles and then started doing some of the little shows over at little bowling alley basements and bars and whatnot. So that was cool. And then my breakout was I met a dude over at the Riviera outside of a Deftones show in 1998. Got his card.
Okay.
He's like, hey, I need a photographer. And the next show was like 2 days later was a show at the Metro. The opening band, 1998, Disturbed.
Okay. Oh shit!
They were nobody in 1998. They didn't even have their first album. I had a demo tape.
Oh yeah.
Actually, I sold like a couple years ago for $100 just to make money. Yeah. But I had a demo tape that was handed to me from the band back in 1998, and I still have pictures on my Facebook page of David Draymond with hair in the old orange jumpsuit. With other bands crap behind them at the Metro. So
shit. And they were an opening band at that time?
They were the first of 4 bands that night.
Oh shit. You remember who they opened for?
Yes, the main band was Lungrush, and they were actually a pretty established metal band in Chicago at the time. And I got to hang out with them and photograph them many years. So
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So from doing basement shows to getting to do it at the Metro and the Riv.
I get to brag a little bit right here. I think I looked it up last time. I photographed over 14 Rock and Roll Hall of Famers or bands.
Okay.
So it's pretty cool. I could throw in Foo Fighters and Tom Petty and Green Day.
Shit.
Santana. I mean, Van Halen.
Yeah.
Trying to remember some of the ones. There might be some behind me in my.
Oh yeah, there might be. Your wall of fame back there.
My little wall of fame. It's a little dark in here because it's nighttime. So
I'll have to use that for the episode photo. Yeah, there you go.
That too. So there you go.
Yeah. So how did or what kind of training did you just start doing it pure fun and just like as a hobby? And
photography started basically as a hobby. And my dad is a photographer, and he's a NASCAR photographer. He's retired, but
that's got to be even harder with the motion.
Yeah, think about the shutter speed and everything that you have to capture. 200-mile-an-hour cars going around in circles.
I don't even know anything about photography, and I gotta know it's got to be hard. Just by watching him, that's kind of how I got into it. So he always kind of had a camera with him. He always did little video stuff with me when I was a kid. So I kind of got into it that way. Okay.
But obviously with what I did was totally different from what he did.
Yeah.
So he was in the NASCAR stuff. I was into everything but NASCAR. So football, basketball, baseball, stuff like that. I photographed high school hockey.
So a lot of sports.
I do all sports. Actually, one of my favorite sports to photograph is lacrosse.
Well, yeah.
Because there's so much action and there's so many cool shots that you can get with that sport.
Oh,
it's really cool to do.
I gotta imagine you get much swinging and
it's
like a smaller version of hockey.
Smaller version of hockey and a smaller version of soccer. So to me, it's kind of like a mixture of both, and it's a really cool sport to photograph, and it's just a lot of fun.
Oh shit, yeah.
But I love my favorite sport though is football to photograph. It's just I can anticipate like you wouldn't believe. I've played in the past, not high school, but just pick up games and shit like that. But just watching football, knowing the sport like I do, it's just easy to kind of
know where the action's gonna be before
where they're gonna go. You can kind of anticipate the play and stuff like that. So it's kind of easy for me to know where to position myself. So I've been pretty lucky in that manner.
That's got to be part of it for sure, right there.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah, I was talking to someone the other day, and they had mentioned that they were a videographer for like their high school football team or whatever. And I was like, oh, every time I hear that, I always remember this Goldberg's episode. You ever watch that TV show?
Not really. That's one of the TV shows I don't really watch.
He's like heavy into video. He
yes, I know the kid is.
Eventually, he becomes like a big video guy, and it kind of is based on his life. And while he was in high school, they asked him to, record the senior homecoming game, which they've never won ever. And so he was filming it, and then I think on the game-winning touchdown, he was supposed to be filming it, and he was filming something else.
Oh, no. Okay, yeah.
So he didn't. So the one time they win, they actually their homecoming game, he doesn't capture that.
Oh my God! See that?
And it
was
like
words.
Yeah, and it was like a call that the referees couldn't count. They were looking for some kind of footage to
and that's funny. Oh, my light just kind of went out on me. I don't know what the hell.
I'm still here. So
no, I mean my light. I think it might have been my computer. I don't know. That was weird.
Yeah.
But actually, I've had it happen where I've captured football moments where there were guys' feet in bounds.
Yeah.
And they would call them out of bounds, and I'm like, I got the shot right here.
Yeah.
And I'll run over to the ref and be like, dude, I got this. And he's like, I don't even want to see it.
Oh, really? Yeah.
They can be jerks, man.
It's like, I already made the call. If I change it now.
And then like all the fans around me will be like, he got the picture. He's got the picture. He can prove it to you. I'm like, whatever, man.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah, I was going to ask how many people would actually change after they seen something like that.
And not many.
I got the shot. I got they got to stick with what they thought.
Exactly. Unless there's actual instant replay, then they can kind of go off that. But usually in high school and stuff like that, they don't. They just is what it is.
Yeah. So did you have like any kind of actual like training or schooling for photography, or was it all kind of?
No, I would say the only schooling I actually did was I did one class in high school.
Okay.
Senior year, I think it was just a regular photography 1 class. I took 1 class in college just to kind of, and this was like 1996 or 7, I don't even know. So I was already into doing what I was doing, and I kind of was like, I'll try it just to see what I can do.
Yeah.
All basic stuff, and I'm like, to me, it's a waste of time. So
I'm
basically self-taught, except for what my dad has taught me, which
I would think what would be like the hardest, maybe the speed and aperture, and maybe
to me is always capturing. The speed and the aperture is the hardest, and then obviously if you're doing concerts, it's lighting.
Yeah.
Lighting is always to me the toughest thing to do, because if you're in a sporting event outdoors, usually your light's always the same. But if you're in a concert, you know how it is. You can get lighting at certain venues. You can get really cool lighting. Like if you see Rammstein, you're gonna get some of the best shots just because.
Oh yeah, they got the flames and
they got the flames. So if you're at a bar though, then you get those crappy bar lights and you get backlight and you get like video where it's like really dark in the front and just backlit. It kind of you got to roll with what you're given,
right?
Especially when, as a concert photographer, you're not supposed to shoot flash.
Yeah.
So you don't want to be that dick where you're shooting flash at the performers and they're like, every time.
Yeah. I think that's why they kind of like outlawed people bringing cameras to a lot of the concerts.
Yes, actually, like point
back in the day before the phones and stuff.
Yep. Obviously now everybody could use their phones, but back in the day, you actually could bring in cameras like that to shoot from the crowd.
Yeah.
And now you can't even. I mean, the only thing you can bring in is a cell phone or a little like point and shoot.
Right.
So it is what it is. But hey, if you know what you're doing, you don't have to really worry about it. But if you're just a novice, then you have to, kind of figure it out.
Right. Yeah, I always kind of wondered how the them people get like the press passes and the if it's something they already kind of do already. I didn't know if they had like a connection with the venue itself or the band itself. Or,
yes, it's connections with the band, connections with the venue, connections with the publicist or PR. Lying is a good way to get into places. Acting like
you make it.
Act like you've been there before, and you can walk in. Oh my God, I've done it at least probably early in my career, probably a half dozen times where I just had my camera with me, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm with that band in there, and I'm like, I got my gear. Okay, go ahead, go in. We'll get you a pass. I'm like, holy cow, that worked.
Almost famous moment.
Yeah, and then I would try it a few more times, but then after that, I'm like, you know what? I need to just go in as a normal photographer and actually get the passes and stuff like that. So that's how I do it now. I got to go through the publicist or the bands or the venues themselves. So it's all good.
For sure. Yeah. What kind of equipment do you use? Do you have like a go-to camera, or do you have a few different cameras? Or
I shoot Canon. I know people for some reason there's some photographers that are elitists with their camera equipment. So if you're like Nikon, it's like, ooh, Canon people suck. It's like like it's a fucking camera. If you know how to use it, you know how to use it. If you could use a good point and shoot if you know how to use it the same way. But I shoot Canon. I always use the same one. Actually, it's kind of funny. I have it sitting right here, right next to me.
Oh, shoot. Always ready.
Okay. So I don't have my lens on it right now because I just downloaded the pictures. But this is my main go-to camera. It's a little dark in here. So
no, I got it. Yeah.
But it's a Canon 70D. It's about a 6-year-old camera. So that's another thing too. You don't always even have to have the newest equipment.
Right.
Like I've been using old.
What would you say the ratio between the photographer itself and the equipment? Which one is like more?
The photographer is always going to be better than the camera.
Yeah.
So if you have a really good photographer, they could use basically any camera, is what I say.
Yeah.
So to me, if you're just starting off as a photographer, and I'll give some advice to people right now.
Right.
Again, you don't always have to buy the most expensive, best equipment. Learn first. Learn off of something cheaper.
Right.
Get your skills down, and then when you start making money, then you can start getting the better equipment. Yeah. Like I've known people that literally bought a brand new camera, spent $4 or $5 grand, and then they ask me, "How do I use it?" That's not how you do this game.
Yeah,
it's not how you do this. And then they're like, "Well, I want to start charging money for stuff." I'm like, "And you don't even know how to use your camera?" Holy shit, man! It's and here's how I kind of work it this way. I'll give a little kind of I'll just kind of give you a different kind of genre of things. Okay. So if you think you want to be a chef, and you think you can cook, and you're gonna go out and you're gonna buy the best like pans and cutlery and everything, and you're gonna go, I'm gonna have people pay me to do what I do, but I don't know how to cook. But I just bought all this amazing equipment, which is gonna make me better.
Yeah,
it's not how it works, man. It's not how it works.
You got to pay your dues. You got to learn from the very beginning. You got to mess up a bunch of times. You got to
100%. You got to be told no.
Yeah.
Often, and you got to be able to take it and move on to the next one.
Mess up a lot and see what doesn't work before you can, just rely on everything to work. And if something goes wrong, you got to be know how to fix it in a moment's time. And I think everybody just wants to hop into something and be the professional. They don't want.
Yeah, and that's the other funny thing too. I've had people that have started out too, and they'll be like, "Hey man, can I come in and kind of get a pass with you and shoot with you?" And I go, "You get your own pass and I'll work with you, but I'm not going to get you shit."
Yeah. They
want if you haven't done anything before, you need to. And I had a cousin that once tried that with me, and I told him no.
Yeah.
Sorry, dude, you can't. You're not.
Gotta pay your dues, man. Gotta pay your dues. No one helped me.
Like, come on. I'm like, nah, this isn't gonna happen this way.
Yeah.
So he was kind of bummed. I really haven't talked to him much about that since. So
yeah. I wonder if he stuck. Did he stick with it?
I don't think so. If I can recall, that was about over a decade ago, and I know he didn't stick with it. So
well, that shows how much he was into it.
His passion.
Yeah.
There wasn't much passion into that.
Maybe he just wanted to get into that certain concert or whatever. And
that was exactly what it was. And actually,
my favorite band. I just want photos at the show.
And I've had people do that with Notre Dame games too. They're like, "Oh, can you get me in?" I'm like, "Fuck no!" I'm like, "I can barely get myself in." I'm like, if I can't get it in the last 2 years, then it's not just me. It's
Or can I get in for a certain team that they go up against? Or
you usually have to go through that team. So it's not easy. It's a cutthroat industry as well in photography. It's like everybody with a camera thinks they're good, and you can tell those who are not and those who are talented.
Right.
It's like that with anything. Podcasting, you can tell when people are good at something when they're not. Bands, you can tell when there's good bands and there's shitty bands. It's just the way it goes. It's like there's different options there.
Yeah. How does one actually get I don't know how I kind of think about it like modeling too. Like how does one actually you get the photos and stuff and you do all that stuff, but how does one actually use the photos, I guess, to get paid, or if that's like a setup arrangement?
There's different ways around with that. So if you're a beginning photographer and you're wanting to shoot with a model, you're usually paying the model because usually they're established. Now, if you're an established photographer and an established model, a lot of times you could do a trade for pictures thing. Where you basically just want to work with each other, and your payment is the photographs you get with the model. And then there's those where you have like a newer model and you're a professional photographer, and then you charge for your services for them to kind of get their portfolio going. So to me, there's a real thin line between all three of those because we know everybody wants to get paid. So it's tough for models to be like, "Oh, I'm not paying you," and I'm like, "Well, I ain't paying you." So
well,
you either work with me or you don't.
These photos aren't free,
Exactly, and then and that's the thing. I've never really learned how to make money in the photographer model industry, so I'm not really. I've done it in the past. I mean, I've made money doing it when I had a photo studio with my father, but besides that, it was like, I mean, I would do most stuff for free. So that's how it works.
Yeah, just to get your work seen and to spread from word of model to model or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah. How about for the Notre Dame gigs and stuff? Do you reach out to them or are they?
Always, and I'll give you a little insight on me. So I tried getting into Notre Dame since about 2003. Every year at the beginning of the year, I would submit to cover games or the season, and I got told no every year up until 2015. So that was 12 years where I was basically told no every year. So
you were basically Rudy then.
I'm the photography version of Rudy.
You were sitting the bench and going to practices and just
I was told
no.
But I kept trying. Yeah. So what I ended up doing was I ended up hooking up with a friend of mine who was running a sports media company. His name's Damian Dennis, and he works for the Pitt Media. So he brought me in and it was like, hey, I got you 2 games in 2015 to photograph at Notre Dame. I'm like, gotta be shitting me.
Oh, okay.
So I got to cover my first 2 games in 2015. I think I did 2 games in 2016.
Yeah.
And then there was like 2 years where I didn't do anything with him. And then I did it again in 2018. I did 1 game in 2018. And then he got a job with the Tribune, and he had to stop doing Notre Dame games because it was a conflict of interest.
Okay.
So after the first game, it was a Michigan State game in 2018, or the Michigan game, 2018. I got to photograph it for his company. The next day, I started my We Are ND Nation and submitted for the entire season and got approved in 2 days with no credentials except for the fact that I already worked with this guy.
We'll call that the luck of the Irish.
I'm going to call it. And not only that, that was the year Notre Dame went 12-0.
Oh, wow.
Undefeated. And went to the playoff in Dallas, which was a game that I got to go to and cover.
Oh, wow. Really Holy crap. Yeah.
So that year I went to Dallas to cover that. I went to New York to Yankee Stadium to cover I think that was a Shamrock Series game there.
Oh, yeah.
So that was all 2018. And then 2019, I was denied for the season from Notre Dame, but Michigan let me shoot the game there between Notre Dame and Michigan.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, how does Notre Dame say no, but Michigan says yes?
Yeah.
And then the next year was COVID. And then the year after that was 2021, and I got denied for that. And then this year I got denied like 2 weeks ago. So I've only gone as a fan twice this year. Well, they've only had 3 games, but I haven't really gone as a fan since 2015. That was the last time I went as a fan. So different experience because you actually have to pay for shit now as a fan. As media, you don't have to pay for anything. You get free food and like free like everything.
So how much then when you're shooting? Do you actually pay attention to the actual like game?
Oh God, the whole entire time.
Yeah. I would think you would be, like more focused on the photography part of it or
well, my lens is usually almost always pointed at the action. Yeah, between plays and stuff, I'll get coaches or cheerleaders or players on the stands or not in the stands, but on the sideline, fans in the stands, stuff like that, ambiance.
Okay.
But normally and luckily there's like 25 to 40 seconds between plays, so you can kind of get other stuff. Also walk to your next destination and do stuff like that as well.
Oh yeah.
Because I mean, from one side of the field to the other, I mean, it's an 80-yard walk.
Oh yeah.
And you're bringing all this equipment. Sometimes you're booking down the sideline trying to get down there. So you're trying to then you got to get in position. Then you got to shoot and get all your settings right. So it's a lot of fun. But man, and I even just tweeted this before we went on. I'm like, I really miss shooting on the field. At the games, because that is just a different experience because you got everybody behind you and around you, not in front of you.
Yeah.
So it's totally different, but it's still cool as a fan because I could actually cheer. That's the other thing. If you're in the press box at sporting events, you can't cheer for your team at all.
No.
So even though I might be decked out in all Notre Dame stuff at the games, I cannot clap. I cannot cheer. You'll hear like oohs and ahs, but that's about all you get in the press box. They will kick you out. I've never seen it happen, but I heard it's possible.
You have to stay neutral.
Like I said, even though I'm wearing all Notre Dame shit, Notre Dame tattoo on my arm, it's like, well, I can't take that off. So
right.
So it is what it is. You just gotta have fun.
You have any close calls like where they're running into you for while you're shooting?
Actually, one of the first games I did was Illinois and Ohio State at Illinois, and I almost got ran over by Ohio State's running back. And actually, I remember his name. His name was Boom Herron. He was coming right at me, and I actually have a picture of the side of his head, literally within was right next to me. I ducked as he jumped over me.
Oh shit!
So he was coming right at me, and I was like, "Oh crap!"
Here we go.
First rule of photography, especially sports: save the camera. Don't worry about your body.
Yeah.
Save the camera. So it's like you kind of just duck and cover,
like a soldier, takes care of his gun no matter what he does. Don't let it fall in the water.
Yep, you don't throw it up like this. You go down low and you just cover it like a turtle and cover it up. But yeah, that was one time I got hit. I've gotten hit by baseballs on the field.
Oh yeah,
I'd be sitting behind the dugout. I got hit by a thrown ball. That was like 1999. I was covering a game for the Schaumburg Flyers football teams, and there was a ball that hit me there. I've had other footballs hit me during the game, but usually I have my eye on the play, so I have it. Yeah. I can see stuff coming right at me. But if you're sitting down, it's hard to move when you can't really get up and run. So
all the equipment and everything.
Yeah, exactly. Basketball, never had any issues with that. I don't think I've ever had any issues with hockey. Came close.
Yeah.
Luckily, there's glass in between you and the camera. Or two times I probably would have gotten hit by a puck.
Yeah, you ever get like a weird reflection too off that glass and stuff that you have
and you kind of see my big bald head and background, so I'm like, holy crap. So you got to be closer. So
yeah, I would just think the glass itself with the light shining on that would be there's
you can manipulate it just by moving your camera different ways. So it's not too hard to do that.
Yeah, right. So. How about any memorable gigs? I know you had mentioned the Disturbed one while doing musical concerts. Has there been any?
Literally my first one.
Yeah. Has there been any where it's like, holy shit, I get to shoot these guys?
Tom Petty was one. That was 2010. Obviously, he passed away now, but I have some cool shots.
All right.
Slipknot's always been like my favorite ones to shoot.
Which one is that?
Slipknot.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Korn has always been awesome. I mean, just some of my favorite bands. Yeah. Deftones, Limp Bizkit.
Yeah.
Those guys, Disturbed. Obviously, Linkin Park was one of the coolest ones because Chester loves staring at the photographers and like just getting great shots.
Yeah.
So I have one of those on my wall in my living room.
Do you think they see the cameras down there and they kind of focus in on letting you get that shot? Or
they do that. They'll play with you. Brent Smith of Shinedown, the lead singer, he actually back before COVID would shake the hands of all the photographers after I think the second song.
Oh, okay.
And he would pay attention to you in the front row and stuff like that. And also some of the guitar players usually they'll play with the photographers all the time.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, some good stuff. But like I said, just photographing all these Rock and Roll Hall of Famers has been amazing. I mean, one of my first shows was back after I started doing shows again. I was off for like 5 years when I got married. I don't know why I took 5 years off. Yeah. But one of the bands I came back to do was the reunion tour of No Doubt.
Oh,
and just photographing Gwen Stefani was really cool.
Yeah.
The lighting was so good. And actually that same year I did Blink 182's reunion.
Oh, wow.
And then another funny one was New Kids on the Block.
Oh, yeah.
I don't normally do pop acts. That's not my so rock and metal is usually what I do. So.
Yeah. Is it more of a personal choice or just
almost I'd say 99% of the time I get to choose what I want to do.
Okay.
But I don't always get approved. So that's the thing. It's like
right.
And actually
I would think maybe them pop acts would have like the better sometimes the better show and the better
they do. They usually do. So yeah, if you're shooting like Justin Timberlake or bands like that, you're going to definitely get a lot better. If you're shooting the Soldier Field shows or Wrigley Field shows, you're going to get really good lighting there. Mm-hmm. I'll tell you one show that I freaking hated, and I would say it's the worst show I ever did. It was Chris Brown and T-Pain.
Oh wow.
Absolutely brutal, because even though the pictures were good that came out, I couldn't stand listening to that music.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And the auto tune and just
that's when you put your headphones on and the noise canceling headphones.
It was horrible. And I'm like, I couldn't get out of there quick enough.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was my worst show that I think I ever photographed, was that one.
And how many times have you been asked this question, which you probably already know? Hey, can you grab that set list off the stage and give it to me?
No, I'll keep it for myself. Fuck that. Yeah. If you see up above my head, that's how I get them, is I grab them first. Yeah. No, sorry, dude behind me. I'm better than
hey, you grab me that drumstick, or you grab me that guitar pick, or
as I literally have a drumstick sitting on my desk. I'll get it first.
Yeah.
It's funny. You're like, hey, that list, funny. You get drumsticks.
That's so funny.
Not at all.
Yeah. You were ready for that one.
I'm shocked you even brought it up, because actually, so this one, and I'll even tell you the band I got this from. There's a local band out there now called Sun Volume. I don't know if you've heard them or seen them.
No.
They're like brand new in the Chicagoland area. They don't even have an EP or an album out. And I saw them at the Rock House in West Dundee, and went up to them, and I saw them like the week before over at the Forge. So then I'm like, dude, these guys are fucking amazing. They're like a new version of 90s grunge, and I'm like, holy shit. So I go up to the drummer and I said how fucking awesome he was, and we were talking for a little bit, and I told him what I do with the photography and the radio stuff, and he's like, hey, do you want a drumstick? And I'm like, sure. So he gave me one. He gave my son one, and I'm like, well, that's cool.
Yeah. Fuck
yeah. So I haven't put it anywhere because I don't have much room behind me. So we just figure out where to put it. One of my pictures fell, so I got a spot.
Oh yeah.
I just got to put it back up. That's the band Saul that fell, so I got to put Saul's picture back up there.
Yeah. You'll have to get some more drumsticks and put them all together in a frame or something.
Yeah, there's actually so I'm going to use my little pointer. There's I think drumsticks right there, and then I think there's drumsticks right there. Right there.
Yeah, for sure.
My little pointer. There they are, right there. Boom.
Yeah. Has there been just one show that you were probably the most like excited to get approved of and do?
Oh my god, it had to have been Lollapalooza 2011. Foo Fighters as the headliner.
Oh yeah.
Obviously, if you follow me on social media, you love that. You know that's my favorite band.
Yeah.
And actually, just going around my little office here, I have Foo Fighters posters literally right on my wall right there. So favorite band, and I got to shoot them, and I've seen them 12 times now.
Yeah, I'm assuming you watched the Taylor Hawkins.
I saw. Actually, that was a couple weeks ago, and I totally forgot it started at like 1 p.m. because it was in London.
Yeah,
amazing. Yeah. So I was watching it on Peacock, and then I had to leave because we ended up going somewhere else, and I caught like a bunch of the shows, but I missed Foo Fighters. But I saw that whole thing with Taylor's son.
How many times you tear up for that one?
Dude, all the time.
Yeah, right.
I have no problem showing my emotions.
Yeah. I just kind of thought that was. I didn't know. I don't really follow them too much, but to know that he has a son and was a drummer and
his son's like 15, so he's not like young. I mean, he's still of age, so it's pretty cool. But seeing that, and I think that was My Hero that they played when Dave's just turning around looking at him and being all cool with him and shit.
Yeah, that's
sorry.
Yeah, we've since this pandemic, I don't know, lost a lot of musicians and lost a lot of actors, actresses. It's so
I see we have about 2.5 minutes left of this segment.
Yeah,
so let's finish off this segment and then we can go to like another one. So,
I got 2 more to kind of go over and stuff. So
nice. All right, I'm looking at the little time clock in the corner.
I'm keeping an eye on it.
All right, just making sure. So we're good. All right, so we got a 2-minute question. What do you got for me?
Let me see. I asked you any probably your best and worst stories of doing photography.
Oh, best and worst stories. Fuck. That's really putting me up. Again, like every Notre Dame game to me is special.
Okay, yeah.
And just being there, being like you said, being in that stadium, the ambiance, the history, walking around the campus, just knowing everything that has ever gone on there in terms of just football and sports. It's amazing. And even though I'm not a Catholic and I'm not really religious, it's kind of weird for me to be like such a big Notre Dame fan with a tattoo. But it's mainly because of the football, but I do respect everything else around it as well. Bad part? Crap. I think just being told no so often is like the worst, because you kind of hope to get it, and then all of a sudden you get the like you said, I get the Rudy letter saying sorry, denied for season 2022, and I'm like, oh God, okay,
back on the practice team.
Back on the practice field, get my ass beat every day.
Well, we got less than a minute right now.
All right. So we'll take a quick little 2-minute and 2-second break, and we'll be right back. I'll do that little break for you right there.
All right. I'll keep that in.
All right. Awesome, man.
All right. Well, I'm back here with Evan J. Thomas.
Got it right. My man right there.
The J's for jamming.
Off, Jack, whatever.
That's James, what we're doing.
James is my middle initial. I got the wind in the back blowing through my Notre Dame flag, which is
nice.
Kind of freaking me out while I'm looking at this video. It's like, ominous flag coming at me here.
Yeah, nice. I got 2 more questions about the photography part.
All right, let's roll.
Life there. Is there any certain ways to deal with certain bands or celebrities when you meet them as not to piss them off too much, or get yourself in hot water before you even?
I don't think I've ever really done anything to piss off a band or a celebrity. So I've done celebrity red carpet events where
I get that camera out of my face, or
they know, and they'll play with it too. I don't do the paparazzi shit. That's not. So I get paid to actually, and I've gotten paid to do, like I said, red carpet events. I got to do the Ocean's 13 premiere. I got to photograph George Clooney and Matt Damon. And
I think I just read somewhere that they were all kind of got together recently to talk about a new Ocean's whatever.
Yeah, Bernie Mac was there. I got to meet.
R.I.P.
In the background he was there for something. So I got to do that one. I got to do Fred Claus with Vince Vaughn. So I got to photograph that red carpet premiere and event and party like that. But I try to just stay the course and be professional Evan, which isn't easy all the time. So, but
try your best.
So on the red carpet, I'll wear like my black jeans and a black vest or a button-up shirt. Obviously, if I'm shooting a band, I'll wear shorts and a band t-shirt or jeans and a band t-shirt. You gotta fit in with the crowd. I showed the whole time. And then obviously at the Notre Dame games, I'll wear. I mean, if it's summer like now, I'd probably
Michigan.
I'd be wearing
a Michigan outfit.
No, nothing. Don't ever say a word around me again. Fuck Michigan. Anyway, but no, I usually wear a polo or my own logo T-shirt for We Are ND Nation or something just to kind of fit in with the crowd. Because even though I'm not the professional guy, usually at the games in the press box, I can shoot on the field, and I'm okay that way. So So I dabble in both.
Yeah,
I don't try to ever ruffle feathers at shoots. That's not how I roll.
Well, I just meant certain celebrities already, or bands might you hear about like an Axl Rose or
I've been spit on by who was it? Marilyn Manson.
Oh,
spit on me.
Shit. But he also such horror stories about that guy from everyone that works with him,
and especially photographers. He has come out in the past. Shot.
Oh, don't freeze up on me now.
Photographed him. The first 30 seconds we had to wait for the curtain to come down from the stage, and then after that we had to wait for him to turn his back to us. Or turn from his back to us to turn around and look at us for the last 30 seconds of the song. We only got one song to shoot.
Yeah.
So we had to get our everything within that time, and it sucked.
Oh wow.
So
yeah, I've heard some
he was brutal. And other ones he did too is he came out one time and he would throw colored powder into the crowd. But he purposely did that because he knew the photographers were in the front.
Oh.
So it's like you're ducking and covering. So like if you've ever seen GWAR live, you have to wear like tarps and shit just so you don't get hit in the front. And I photographed them 2 months ago, and that was a brutal shoot because they literally shoot red water at you.
Yeah.
So you have to turn away and kind of cover your equipment. Luckily, I did. Nothing happened.
Oh yeah.
Marilyn Manson was probably the worst one, but I never had to deal with him personally.
Yeah.
I just had to deal with him that way. So
yeah, for sure.
I've been stepped on. I had my hand stepped on by a couple bands. Corey Taylor turned and accidentally spit on me too. But I don't ever worry about shit like that because I see that bands spit all the time.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, got to watch them vocalists.
Yeah,
they get the dry mouth and
yeah, see,
yeah, yeah. Well, the other band or photography question you kind of touched on, I was going to ask, do you only do band photography or sports photography, or is it? You go out in the woods actually, and shoot for photos, and
I love doing landscape and building stuff. So when I'm out, kind of on vacation or doing a little road. Oh
my God! Not getting a connection
cool
here.
And I'm
getting a bad connection from you, or is it me? It's gonna lock up.
Did you freeze up?
Yeah, I don't know. It's got this little thing by your name. I don't know if it's you or me. It happened to me last week.
Oh, did it? I saw you all of a sudden. You were like. I kept talking. I didn't know if I should.
Yeah.
So I don't know where we left off.
It's got this little meter thing by your name, and it kind of like turned red for a second. And I was like, oh, yeah.
I don't have the little meter by my name.
Oh,
so
it probably has my name with a little meter thing or something.
Yeah, I don't see it.
Yeah. Oh, okay. We were talking about landscape photography.
Yeah, I love doing landscape photography. One of my favorite places to go is New Orleans. I'll be going to Nashville in 3 weeks. 3 weeks from today, I'll be in Nashville for the first time, and I've never been there, so I'm going to do some cool shots around there.
You ever do like any kind of like video stuff with it too? Or?
Not really. Sometimes I do, but not really as much. If I do video, it's usually just for the projects I'm working on, anything with video or stuff like that. Maybe I should start doing more cool video clips and whatnot.
Yeah, it seems like that's the way for at least social media wise. That's what they want.
Yeah, that actually sounds like a cool idea because obviously, like if I go to cool places, it's nice to have it there. So
yeah,
might as well
short little video clips of stuff and such. But
for sure,
yeah. Well, we talked about band photography. Another topic. I know you're a. So I don't know if it's a radio show, radio host. Is it like a weekly show, or is it a
which one of the 15 do you want to know about?
Oh, okay. So that's why I probably got it all mixed up. If it's just like web radio, or is it actual radio, or is it a mixture of both?
So it's web radio, the Badass Radio Network, which is what I'm repping, which you were a part of for a little bit. I don't know if you want to come back. It's up to you. You tell me.
Yeah. I just I kind of got overwhelmed with doing a lot of stuff.
We all do, and I totally understand it. But so that's all internet radio. It's through an app that I found like a year ago, and obviously we can put our own content on whenever we want to. So we had you on. I have me currently with 3 other DJs, and we all do different shows. But myself, I have the We Are Indie Nation podcast. I have Better Listen Up with Evan J. Thomas podcast. I have the Sound Stories, Stages, History of Iconic Music Venues podcast. I have E2B2, which is my son and my movie review podcast. And then I have about 9 or 10 different regular radio shows that I do on Badass Radio Network. So I have Rock Hard with Evan J. Thomas, and then there's like a slew of other ones. I'm not even going to get into all of them. But you can check them all. Here's a plug. BadassProductions1.com. Go to the on-demand section. You can check out all my fucking shows right there.
Hell yeah. All in one
spot. All in one spot. So there it is.
Go and check it out.
Pretty cool.
And it's is it how many shows or I don't know what you would call them. I don't know the right words to use. Like daily, how much? Like, is it just one show daily, or is it like
I do basically one main show a week, and that's my Thursday night Rock Hard with Evan J. Thomas show. The other shows I kind of just do when I want to. Obviously, because I run the station, I could just do what I want when I want. So with all those other shows, luckily I also have them anywhere from a 3-song playlist to an hour long. So I try to keep them short. I try to keep them concise, and boom, I hit it out there. I'm not the type of person that will do 3-hour shows right now on my own, especially on my own radio station right now. I'm good with anywhere from a 20-minute show to an hour show, and I'm good. But usually rock metal, a couple of shows I do a grunge show. I have an industrial show. I have one called 100% Pure Rock and Roll, which is bands like Crowbot and Shaman's Harvest and bands like that. So it's like more of the newer grunge rock type music. So that's kind of what I'm really into now.
Wow, yeah.
Nice. Blacktop Mojo. I got to shout out those guys because they're one of my favorites.
Oh, nice.
By far one of my favorite live bands, man. Holy shit. Those guys. I've traveled like 4 different states just to see them. And actually, Cincinnati last week was where I went to go see them.
Oh,
so wow. 5-hour drive just to go see one of my favorite bands. I love it.
Yeah.
It's fun. I got to photograph them. I got to hang out with them. I got to smoke weed with them. Drink a little booze here and there. And it was fun. It's a blast.
That's a good weekend right there.
I slept in my car and drove home. Hey.
Yeah. Yeah. So how did that radio show come about? Was it just finding the right app? You said
the radio station or my radio show?
We'll go with whatever came first.
The radio show came first, and it actually, the Rock Hard with Evan J. Thomas show came out of me going back to school 3 years ago at Illinois Media School. That's where I kind of learned all the cool new shit that I'm doing with radio and video and all that. And even the just running a radio station was through Illinois Media School. And that's where my show originated. It was very basic, and it was songs that were given to me that I had to play.
Yeah. But it was like college radio.
Basically, it was like a college radio, but I did get to pick rock and metal. So I got to pick that, but it was like the same 60 songs, and I only had an hour show. So I had to put 12 songs every week. I'm like, then you're kind of doing different rotations of different songs. And originally, the name of the show, because since it was at a school, I actually wanted to name it Evan J. Thomas's Rock Hard. Well, apparently that was too sexual for the program director, who was female. And she's like, you can't use that name. I go,
a guy can't rock hard.
Like Evan J. Thomas is rock hard. I mean, come on, I am. So I'm like, fine, how about this? Rock Hard with Evan J. Thomas. She goes, that's okay. I go, it's the same word.
Yeah, wow.
Just in different order.
Yeah, right.
Well, obviously, now I've done about 125 of those shows already. So I'm up there. And then, like you said, I had the first show that I ever did was my own podcast. It was the Badass Podcast, which is now changed into Better Listen Up with Evan J. Thomas. Kind of had to move on from the name and make it a little
okay.
And then my movie review podcast, E2B2, was with my son, who at the time, I think he was 14 when we started. Now he's 17. So he's learned a lot. We've done over about 60 episodes of that. So it's been a blast just playing with him, because we'll go see movies and then we'll go home and freaking talk about it. He's amazing. And what's cool about his progress, so he went from his very first show, every single word was like a word, and then and the editing process of taking all that out is not easy.
Oh, I know.
So I would talk to him and be like, I'd play it back, and I'd be like, you need to change the way you kind of think and talk before you do it. Obviously, you and I, knowing as podcast people, you try to limit as much dead time or thought sinking times before you say stuff without trying to have the ums or the likes. I say like way too much, but that's my one little spot that I do. And then so now the kid now he's fantastic. He's actually doing his own stuff in high school. So he does video production. Okay. He does some radio stuff there. So it's like he's kind of following in my footsteps and doing the video production. He's got to take my job one day at the school. So.
Well, you followed your dad with the photography.
Yeah, I took over him big time. So. I still say he likes to get jealous and pissed off when I do cool shit. So. He shows up by saying, "Isn't that my camera lens?" And I'll be like, "Yeah." You don't use it anymore.
Still going to NASCAR?
No. So, I can take back any time. I'm like, yeah, I know, but you won't do that because you're sort of nice. You still kind of love me.
You want what's best for your son.
Exactly.
Yeah. So do you interview bands on the show then?
So I've changed up the way I do my show now. So yes, I still sort of interview bands, but the Badass Podcast went from interviewing bands to actually being more topical on what I want to talk about. So like the new Better Listen Up with Evan J. Thomas show, I've done podcast on let's see, I'm doing the and the likes right now. So
I know what to say.
So
I'd still do them myself.
See, exactly. So one of my most recent one, we did why buying onto tours and festivals is a good and bad thing. So it's kind of topical with people a lot of these bands don't know stuff like that or think everything's a scam. So I brought on a professional who's in the industry who we discussed that. Another one was why we love festivals. So I talked to a guy who's been to like 60 festivals, and his name was Mayhem Jesus, and the guy was fucking awesome. And we talked to him. Had JC on my show once, and we talked about why TikTok and Reels and social media is more important now than ever before for bands, not just your normal Facebook post. So I'm trying to come up with different things that kind of make it more interesting rather than just a band interview. And I'm trying to go into, even if I talk to people outside of the music industry, I'm still going to bring in music in the questions at some point. So I have some people coming on that are former like Major League Baseball players and stuff like that, people that are in radio, but we're going to get into talking more music, not only just what they normally do. So I kind of feel that's more of the way to go for me. I kind of want to make it more interesting. And rather than, what's your favorite color? What band did you grow up listening to? Who got you? Those to me are the basic questions. I understand that a lot of people start that way. I've moved on from there. So
because it also depends too. Like if you're interviewing, a band who's like playing their first show, a brand new band, you kind of have to ask them type of questions, But I even think that, when I find certain guests and stuff, it's like I can't have too many bands who are playing their first shows or this is their first band, because all them questions are going to sound similar and such.
So what I was doing actually before COVID happened too was I was doing interviews where I would walk around with bands. So I would have like my selfie stick, and I did this with Mike, the bassist of Corrosion and Conformity. We walked around by the port. We were walking outside, just walking up and down the sidewalk and talking, and fans were talking to him. But we had a great interview doing that. So I thought that was really cool. I've done other interviews where I was like, would walk through a band's bus and we just talk about whatever and drink alcohol and have fun, and it was fun. I don't mind doing the sit down interviews in person, but if I can get up and move around and do something, I feel that that's more visually, especially if you're doing video, it's more visually entertaining doing that rather than just sitting there talking. But unfortunately,
and I'm sure they don't mind getting up and doing something different rather.
And what sucks though now is like everything that I'm doing has been on Zoom as well, just like yours are. And like, unfortunately, that's kind of what we have to do. And most of our interviews are that way. So that's what we just have to deal with.
Yeah. Well, here's an important question for me then is like, how do you get them top, what I would consider top tier bands, the hard to reach bands or people to interview?
Those are still, to me, some of the hardest ones to do. I still like the mid-range bands, so those bands at festivals that are not in the big lettering up at the top, or in the middle lettering. So.
Well, I even considered some of them top tier.
So do I. Like one of my favorite bands to interview is who was From Ashes to New. Those guys are fucking amazing to talk to. A lot of fun. Another band that's up and coming, Red Star, which was really cool that I got to talk to. Another one over here was All Good Things. I mean, these are bands that are again smaller tier coming up, but they're going to get there one day. I've interviewed Chris Jericho from Fozzy on the phone.
I listen to his podcast all the time. He's one of them that I would love to have, him and Jamie Josto.
So Jamie Josto would be amazing too because he has an awesome podcast. I've reached out. My thing is I'm going to start reaching out more to publicists and kind of giving them more of a topical thing to talk about. But a lot of times bands too, if they're on tour, they'll do some stuff, but it's limited. The easiest thing I've found is find them when they're off tour.
See if
you can get them to do something and talk a little bit more, not just about music, but about their life and what they're doing as well.
Right. Yeah. If it's a certain type of band, and they've been touring for like 10 years or, I know not to ask them, well, let's go back to when you first started off.
You don't want to be Chris Farley in that those clips.
Hey, you remember that time
that was awesome,
you played that show?
Hey, Paul McCartney,
you played that show with that band? Yeah, that was
awesome, man. That was awesome. That's not ever going to be me again. Unless I meet Dave Grohl, then I probably would do that. But
oh shit, yeah.
And I've reached out so many times to them to try to get any type of interview, and they're next to impossible. I mean, unless your name is Rolling Stone or something like that, you're not.
You got to go out to where he lives and just happen to walk around his house a few
stalking,
times.
And I'm not going to do that.
Hide out in the bushes.
That's again stalking and paparazzi.
Evan, is that you? I know who it is already.
You got a gray beard and bald head. So do other people.
Yeah, are you going through my garbage? What's going on here?
I probably
public would. Property once it's on the
I probably
on
would.
The street.
I would. I'd do that.
Yeah.
He is once bitten apple. I would probably do that. I don't know.
I got it in a bag. I'm not selling it. Oh shit! Did it freeze up on us? Oh no, it's gonna click out on us again, I think. Here. Come back on. No.
Yeah, you froze up again.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Luckily, I stopped talking right when I saw you freeze up, so we're good.
Yeah, I seen your screen freeze, and I was just like, "Oh no!"
Wait, I froze?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this.
Oh yeah.
Normally, I could go an hour episode and won't do it once, and then.
Yeah, I haven't had any issues. I know it's not where I am because I do them all the time here.
I'm gonna have to talk to my because sometimes my TV will even go out and say it's not connected, but it's like everything should be connected. I'll have to I don't know. It's a bad plug for AT&T internet. They'll have to come out for sure.
All right. So what do we got? What do we got left from me today?
Yeah. Let me see. Is it that? Let me see.
What's my favorite color? Green.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you kind of already talked about what kind of schooling or training you did for the.
Actually, I could get into that a little bit more if you want.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So what's cool? So like I said, I went to Illinois Media School, which is they do everything there. They do production. They do on screen. They do radio. They do film. They do all of that. And I went there 3 years ago. It was an 8-month class. I went from April, graduated in December, got a job the week before I graduated at the Score, 670 The Score, in the sports radio station in Chicago.
Oh, okay.
And I do the production side of everything. So I do the social media and the video stuff for the radio show, which always sounds funny that I do video production for a radio show.
Yeah.
Makes sense. But now with Twitch and Facebook and YouTube Live and all that shit that we have now, that's one of the most growing aspects of media is that.
Yeah.
So, crazy. And I also got hired on back in February to do the BetQL stuff, which is all sports betting. So I do that on Sundays. So I do those shows there. So like I said, I went to Illinois Media School for 3 months or for 8 months, graduated. 3 years later, I got asked to be an instructor there. So about 3 months ago, I started as an instructor doing intro to camera and video editing, because since that's what I do, they want professionals there. And it's really cool to actually teach students that I was in their place 3 years ago, and now I'm teaching them what I was learning.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool to see their progress already, and it's a lot of fun.
Oh shit! Yeah. Any of them people? I might have to reach out to them and be like, "Hey, you want an editing job for a weekly?"
And actually, the best part of this all is everything they do. They can do everything for credit work, like extra hour work.
Yeah.
And it's all internship.
Okay.
So if there's any rock or music people that want a radio show, I could be like, "Hey, man, I can get you on my radio station, and it's an internship. I don't have to pay them anything." That always helps.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Cheap ass me, I'm not paying shit unless I'm making money. So,
right.
So you do it for free for now, and then when they're like, "Hey, I want to get paid now," I'll be like, "Yeah, well, when I get paid, you get paid." So,
yeah, right.
Fun with that, buddy.
Help me before I can help you.
Yeah, so it's fun to actually have people that can do stuff for school credit. It's pretty cool. And internships.
Yeah. During your show, is it just you that kind of runs? You said you have some other people that are kind of with you with that?
Yeah, I just have other DJs that do their own shows, but I produce, I record, I do all the editing of my own shows, all my video stuff. I don't really outsource. I've never really outsourced anything. So everything that I've learned at school, I do now with the Adobe Creative Cloud. So everything in Adobe. So if you're using, Premiere Pro or Audition or any of that, that's what I'm learning on. I'm learning on the best stuff out there. So it's pretty cool. Because when I first started, I was using iMovie, the free app off of Mac, and what was the other one? Audacity. And GarageBand to do my radio shows. And when I started using the newer programs and the good programs and actually learning how to edit, my content has gone from like a 1 to, I'd still say about an 8. I'm not up there that good.
Okay.
But I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah. That's as soon as the pandemic hit, that's kind of when I decided to come up with the
I remember you doing that, and that's why I was like, "Jamie, I got to get your podcast on my radio station." You're like, "All right, let's do it." So.
Yeah. I'm still kind of learning everything and still learning how to edit and all that. So
well, if you ever need help, the guy to go to.
Yeah. I do find myself though listening to a lot of podcast, and I'll listen to them while I'm at work through my earbuds and such, and I always make sure to get mine, loud enough to where if it's too loud for them, they could turn it down. But if
that's what I do.
It's not loud enough and you can't turn it up anymore, then you're screwed. So
correct. So I overproduce the sound on mine, like you said. Yeah. So I'd rather have them turn it down than have to turn it up.
Right.
Because obviously in the speaking parts, you can catch it between songs where it's like really high volume with the music, and then the audio of me talking or you talking dips down. Right. You don't want that. So when you kind of master it at the end, you bring up your volume, and then that way everything kind of mixes together, and you blow it out. So you blow it out, so then that way they just turn it down when they put it on.
Or as I say, you crank those jams.
Blast that shit. That's what I always say. So there you go. Blast that shit.
Right. Yeah. So you didn't. So this when you went for the schooling, did you have like any kind of like radio training or?
No, I never had any radio training except for what I did in high school. So that was like 30 years ago before I went to Illinois Media School. So like I said, literally from day one, they started teaching me everything that I want. And I actually went for radio, but then I got a job in radio, but in video.
Yeah, okay.
Because I had the background already in video, and plus my instructor works at 670 The Score and was like, we need a new producer. Can you do this?
We're kind of making
send me your resume now. I'll get you an interview tomorrow. So I'm like, okay. So I did, and I got the interview, and boom, I got the job. So
nice. Yeah.
Things work out with people who you know. So it's always
I think it's 10% skill and 90% luck or something.
It's 90% who you know, 10% skill.
Yeah.
And that is usually a fact. And actually, most hiring managers won't admit it, but it is basically exactly that. They'll be like, you know people that know how to do this? Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Let me get you some names. And then those are the people they bring in.
Yeah, I need to start walking by the forge more often and just be like, oh, what bus is that, or whose van is that with the with the equipment in the back? And,
exactly.
Here's my card sticker. Get a hold of me.
Yeah, send them a link to your podcast and be like, hey, this is what I do. Boom.
Yeah. Well, I kind of also someone had said now that this is episode 93. I wanted, you can't come up and be like, I'm on episode 5. I don't really know what I'm doing. Want to be on my podcast?
Yeah, you need to own it when you get to meet those people. That's for sure.
Come on, Slipknot. You want to be on my podcast?
I'll tell you a quick little story that happened actually today. So at the Notre Dame game, if you remember the player Chris Zorich, he used to play for the Bears. He used to play at Notre Dame. Yeah. So he was at one of the tailgates that I was at. Oh. And I went up to him and introduced myself, and I go, I'm Evan J. Thomas. I'm like, I tried DMing you to be on my podcast, so We Are ND Nation podcast, and you haven't responded. I didn't know if you received it. He's like, oh, man, sorry about that. Here's my email. Email me tomorrow, and I'll get on your show sometime.
Oh, yeah.
So you just be ballsy. Fucking go for it. Yeah. Worst thing, and this is another thing I always say, worst thing they can say is no.
All right.
If you don't try, you'll never know. So just fucking go for it.
Yeah,
go for the big names, man. If you want to get, the Foo Fighters, try it.
Yeah. All right.
The worst they're gonna say is, "Oh, sorry, we not right now," or maybe another time.
Or reach out to our publicist, or get a hold of our publicist.
Well, that's usually what I do, but it just sucks getting that back from them too. But it's just. You got to try. If you don't
and
try,
where would you look, I guess, then for the publicist's information? Is that like
it used to be on Facebook in their bios, but it's not there anymore. They kind of took it off. So
is that like
I ask around? There's different groups that I'm in.
Okay.
Facebook groups, like publicity groups, where you ask, does so and so have, Guar's PR, and like somebody will drop their email in there or something like that. Yeah. I started a spreadsheet a year ago, and I have a whole bunch of ones that
I was going to say, just reach out to a publicist and ask them,
do you have a
band that you would like to have?
But a lot of times they'll, on their email back at the bottom, like under their name, they'll have like the band roster that they're working with.
Yeah.
So you just get the same person's name with like 30 bands. You'd be like, oh, okay, this is the same person.
Yeah,
It works out that way.
I'll have to do that, seriously.
Or just ask me. I could get you some stuff. I know people.
We'll talk after.
We'll talk regardless. So we talk once in a while.
Yeah. Oh man, I was gonna bring. I was gonna say, you had that that one guest, that you said just reach out to him. I finally reached out to the lead singer of Black Dahlia Murder, and and after a year, I did I hired him to do the cameo for my 1 year anniversary of my show, and he was like, "Yeah, I'd love to be on your show. Get a hold of me." And
yeah, I saw that.
I reached out to him, and he was supposed to be on it, and that was when he was dealing with a lot of stuff, and he, of course, passed
away. Yeah.
But
so here's another little tip for just you too. Nobody else needs to know this. When you do your podcast and you have people on that are famous, you tell them at the end of the show, even though we hit stop and stop record again, and then you get them to do their little spot right there.
Yeah.
Don't do the cameo if you don't have to.
Right.
Once you get that little rep with them, then you can do something fun with them at the end. Be like, hey, I can do this with you. Let's do a drop. So
yeah. A little commercial ad or whatever.
We got 4 minutes left. So what do we got?
Yeah, we got 4 minutes. I was gonna
wrap it up.
Talk about the podcast itself and stuff. Do you want to talk about that in a 3 minute?
I mean, I kind of filled in everything with the Better Listen Up with Evan J. Thomas. It's kind of topical with music.
Yeah.
The E2B2 is the movie reviews with my son. Obviously, Sound Story Stages, a history of iconic music venues podcast is a podcast about music venues. Nice. So I've only done one so far, but I'm not sure how I'm going to go about it because some of these venues don't like to respond and do interviews. So
yeah,
it's tough. Mm-hmm. And then obviously the We Are ND Nation podcast. That's my sports one that I do for Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Well, for myself for Notre Dame. So
yeah,
but that's kind of everything I do, and most everything I do in life right now is revolved around sports and music, and it's everything I've ever wanted to do, and I'm getting paid to do it, and it's fucking amazing. So
nice.
Go back to school if you have the opportunity. Do what you love to do, and when you love doing it, you're never gonna work a day in your fucking life, even though you do work every day. 7 days a week, probably about 15 hours a day. Yeah, I'm never not busy, and if I'm not busy, I'm usually sleeping somewhere. So that's usually what that is.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I guess for any more questions for new photographers or people interested in doing like a radio show or just trying to get interviews.
Well, people can reach out to me too if
I was gonna tell you to drop your social media so people.
Oh, that's easy shit. So I'm gonna throw you my socials right now. You can find me anywhere at Evan J. Thomas. Make sure that middle initial J is in there. So Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat. YouTube is Badass Productions. So you got Badass Productions on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. TikTok is Badass Radio Network. So I'm on there for that. And then my website, I have two of them. I have evanjthomas.com, which is just me and my stuff. And then I have Badass Productions, which is everything in the music stuff that I do. With all my podcasts, all my radio shows, all that fun shit.
Cool.
You can probably find some of Jamie's shows on there too.
Yeah, I'll be putting not that yours. I'll probably be putting yours.
Let's
up there.
Get your ass back on my station.
Yeah, for sure.
When you get your stuff rolling again, let's do it.
Yeah, perhaps the one that I'm putting up tomorrow. I'll send it to you then, and we'll put that one up there too.
Well, whichever one I'm on, obviously it's this one, but whenever I'm on this one, send me the link for it, and whichever ones you want me to put on for you, dude. I'm there to help you out. So.
Yeah. I just went from doing it every week to I was doing it every 2 weeks, and then just
it happens, and life happens, and actually I haven't done my Rock Hard show in 3 weeks because I've been so busy. I haven't had time.
Yeah.
And it's like, it sucks. But once I start having time again, which should start this week, then I could start doing more things. And I know we have less than a minute, so I want to thank you for having me on the show.
Yeah, thanks so much. I've been wanting to get you on here, so this happened.
We've been talking about it since I think you're episode 50, so you're around there.
Yeah,
and I finally got onto your show, and dude, love it. I love hanging with Monster.
Thanks, man,
amazing, dude, and definitely give you a shout out on everything I do as well.
All right, man. I'll hit you up on the phone after this.
Hell yeah, brother.
All right, thanks.
Rock on, my man.
Yeah, crank those jams.
That's that shit.
Nice.
And you are listening to a Monster Production.
I'm exhausted, by the way.
Oh yeah, how was that game,
dude? It was a rough one.
Yeah. That was at Notre Dame.
Yeah, it was at Notre Dame. They did win, but they won there was a last second Hail Mary that actually landed on the chest of one of the receivers.
Oh shit, those are the best games.
But not only did it land on the chest, he didn't catch it. He never had his hands on it, and the other Notre Dame guy knocked it away, so it didn't count. So
shit.
All right, so let me just get my stuff ready. All right, brother. Whenever you're ready to go, you go.